you guys are interested how Erika's making the lumpias, egg rolls, spring rolls, whatever. So here are some of the onions cut already a bit, and that's one of the ingredients. There's the onion cut up that she's gonna use. Then there's the garlic. It's gonna be cut too, okay, in little pieces. So the garlic gets chopped up very fine. We used about 15 garlics. See, and then so the garlic is done. We're going now to the carrots. Yeah. Erika is starting peeling the carrots here, and I will start cutting them into little fine pieces.
No, you're shredding them with the shredder.
Oh, I shred them with a shredder. I mean, sorry, same with the cabbage later on. So now I'm going to start shredding the carrots. So when you do this, I do it this way, so the pieces are short. Okay, of the shredder, because if you do this way you get very long shreds. So the best way I find, okay, is this way. So there's the lean ground pork that we're gonna use for the lumpias. So the spices that she's using, this is garlic powder. Then we have sea salt. This one is from Greece. It's a Szechuan peppercorn that I've grinded. We have white pepper, and then we have galangal powder, or in other words, what's it? Hello?
Ginger.
Ginger. Okay. Then she's using sesame oil, oyster sauce, sweet soya sauce, ketchup manis, and a bit of the normal soya sauce. So those are about the ingredients that she adds to the meat. The wajan a la frying pan a la wok is ready to go. She added some oil in.
This is my little hot tub. In the middle goes the garlic, 15 cloves of finely minced garlic, perfect.
Nobody sees anything because you got your hand in front of it. There we go. So
that's my hot tub.
The hot tub is in the middle. Yeah. So now she's doing first. She does the meat separate and vegetables. So we do not get too much liquid in it.
Yeah, we burn.
Now we're gonna mix the lean pork and the onions and the garlic together. Now we're gonna shred the cabbage. In this case, this is Thai cabbage, which is like a flat cabbage. Okay. So the shredded cabbage is added to the shredded carrots, and now she added the leek to it. Here's the other part of the filling of the meat and the onions and spices and
oyster
so on.
Sauce, sesame seed oil.
The shrimps will be the last thing to be added to it. So you see all the fluid that is now left over from the meat that would have been otherwise with the filling. So Erika is now mixing the meat, the pork stuff, with
garlic and onions.
The garlic and onions and the veggies together. See, if she wouldn't have done it, we would have ended up with a pretty moisture.
Wet. Now we're gonna mix it all around, and it smells amazing.
So now she adds a tablespoon of cornstarch to the leftover of that fluid.
It goes actually in here because I might not use all the fluid.
So that will be added to the meat, so to thicken it up too. So now I'm gonna mix the little cornstarch slushy that she made Turn it upside down so it gets mixed up. Turn it too so the bottom doesn't get burnt because of the cornstarch that we added a bit to thicken this up. And we're not making the egg rolls, lumpias, until tomorrow. We'll let this cool off a bit in the fridge. You know, just a little note here. While we were doing this, we have some nice weather outside. See, just beautiful. Good enough to stay indoors and to make some stuff. No, that's not rain, guys. That's always snowy. One of the other things that will go in there is vermicelli. Now this vermicelli is not rice vermicelli, this is bean thread. And there is mungo beans in it, water and so on, with some potato starch. Yeah, we use this because it holds the form in the filling. The vermicelli goes in nice hot boiling water and let it rest for some time.
3 minutes.
Oh, it's got to be 3 minutes, the boss says here, our super cook. So 3 minutes in boiling hot water. Next I will be dicing the shrimp in smaller pieces, which will then be added. See, you don't need tiger shrimps because they're going to get cut to pieces anyway. So, no, you need just a decent size of shrimp that you can cut up and have different pieces. See, the pieces are pretty decent to eat, so that's what you do. The shrimps are done, so they should be good enough for the egg rolls and the lumpias. So now we're gonna add the shrimp that we just cut up in pieces to it. Okay, now we're gonna add the vermicelli to it.
First batch.
So Erika added first batch of vermicelli bit to it, and it has been cut up to pieces. So we're gonna mix it up now.
You've not used this spoon, huh? Coming with a knife here.
So we're now done. It's all mixed up pretty good. And we're gonna put it in this bowl now and let it rest And then tomorrow we will roll them and wrap them up in the wrappers. So this is enough again for the whole army from Canada, because our Canada's army is not that big. So this is the end result. A big bowl of it. I say a big bowl, it's a big bowl. So another 6,000
Probably can make
lumpias.
another 80 out of this.
Yeah. Then when we're done with the wok, a la wajan, we pour a little bit of oil in here, so like this, you know. And then we'll take a little paper towel, tissue, and we'll just season it again a bit for the next time. And this one is done. So we're now going to get ready to roll the lumpias or egg rolls, and this is what we're using today. When you take those wrappers apart, you're careful so you don't rip them. Very careful, because they really are pretty thin. And when you got that done, we put it under a wet cloth here, so we keep it nice and damp. Okay, so it doesn't dry out basically. And then put the unused ones on a pile. You can have a wet cloth, or in this case we use a wet paper towels on it. Okay, and then this is the where we're gonna start.
Doesn't talk.
So here is the cornstarch with water, which we use to close and glue the wrapping, and parchment paper on a cookie sheet. As soon as this is full, it goes into the freezers and freeze it up, and tomorrow we'll put it in vacuum bags, about 10 pieces at a time. So now Eric and I are starting with filling the wrappers. It's always a tryout, like how much you fill it up with. So
Always start small. You can always recognize Timothy's. Nice and bulky. Let the fun begin.
and the first one. So we'll get something going here. A little bit of the filling. We'll tighten it up a bit. Fold in.
Very tight.
Fold in. It's like an envelope, right? See, envelope style. And we roll it in. Roll it in. Got Erica's super glue here. Okay. We roll them in. Roll them in. And there's the next one. See? Good enough. So the first batch is ready for the freezer. It's about 27 or 28 here. We put some film over it, sallow. So it's ready to go to the freezer now. Do not forget to stir this now and then, because it's getting very hard. So
You have to add water sometimes.
every time, you know, make sure that you loosen it all up. See, now there's more. This super glue. Now some people use egg stuff, okay, to close the stuff and to do what we do, but we just use cornstarch with some water. We don't need 200 eggs. Also, do not forget to keep your wrapping on a moist towel or a moist kitchen paper tissue, whatever. So don't have it soaking wet, okay? Because you don't want it soaking wet.
You don't need to.
No, just a little bit of moisture.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, otherwise this stuff is gonna dry out. Well, we're at the last home stretch here of the lumpias, aka egg rolls, aka spring rolls. So we did about 100. Then we're gonna finish this, and we had 120 of them again done, and we had 140 before. So we had about 260 of them.
It takes a lot of work to make it, but it's gone in seconds.
That's right. Ask those kids. One bite, and it's all gone.
Oh, brother.
So we're almost there at the home stretch.
It's hilarious.
Well, at the home stretch, and there goes the last one.
And there's a little
Of the
hole in it. See
120.
that? Oy, 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 oy.
And we did that in about an hour and 50 minutes. So
That's pretty amazing.
yeah,
I would
120.
say that we are an awesome team.
Thank you, thank you. Your mother thank you, your father thank you, we all thank you. Well, and that, ladies and gentlemen, are the 120 egg rolls, lumpias, spring rolls, and there's some 2 layers in that box. So have it here in the freezer till tomorrow, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna vacuum pack them, 10 at a time. Ooh. Well, the final job is to put the lumpias, spring rolls, egg rolls in the baggies, put them in, start it, and turn it off right away, because we do not want to squeeze the whole thing. We just want that nicely in there, otherwise we'll squeeze it if we keep sucking all the air out. Do not forget, of course, to write the date on there, otherwise you wouldn't know which are the old ones and which are the new ones. And here are our first 30 that we wrapped up. So this is the end of our adventures of the Lumpia egg rolls, spring rolls. Now some of you might say, hey, that's not how my mom did it, or hey, not how my dad did it. It doesn't matter, guys. 1 million people, 1 million ways of doing it. Okay, so it's all up to yourself what you want to do, what you want to put in. They're all different. This is a bit how we do it nowadays, like I mentioned I think before. Years before we would have it a different recipe. So you can do what you want, it's yours and only yours, specific and original lumpia egg roll, spring roll. So enjoy, have fun in making it, and even more by eating it. So now they go in the fryer so we can taste them, of course, and see how delicione they are. And then this is the end result after frying. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now here we see the inside of the lumpia egg rolls, spring rolls, how it looks like. And you can also use some of the special sauce, which is a kind of a Thai sauce that we're using as a dip. When you make it, about the ingredients, be aware that the soya sauce and the oyster sauce contain a lot of salt already. So the rest of the seasoning is up to you how you want to do it, because it's all, of course, we all have a different taste. So that's why we didn't say like a spoon of this and half a cup of that. It's all up to you what you want to do. And after all this I hope you guys enjoy it. So, bon appetit and enjoy your egg rolls that you're creating. Now, of course, you all want to know, how does it taste and sound? It sounds awesome. You hear the crunch? Mmm, yummy, yummy.